The analytics have spoken. The AP poll has spoken. And the one thing that can be said for all of these different metrics is they love the Kentucky Wildcats. We have a ton to talk about today. What's going on with Stokes? How is Big Blue Madness? Please, Hokies. Please, Hokies. We'll talk about all of that on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, publisher over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined as always by Carson Nash. Carson, we got a big weekend this weekend. One of our good buddies, RJ Ryan Johnson's getting married, so we're going up to that. Very exciting. Texas is coming to town this weekend. It's going to be a good weekend, I think.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Shout out to RJ, one of our longtime friends, getting married. So that's going to be super awesome. Going to be a fun time in Cincy on Friday night, and then a heck of a time on Saturday. Hopefully the Cats can beat Texas. I know Texas just went to Oklahoma and won, so they have some momentum now. But, you never know. Arches hasn't been playing all that well, so maybe the Cats shock the world this weekend and makes it even a better weekend.
Was that at Oklahoma? Where was
it?
I think it was in Austin. I don't know.
Oh, was it in Austin?
I think it was in Austin, but I don't
Either way.
That was the one Cooper and Mike were like, Arch is going to win this one. And I'm like, bull crap. And then he did. And I was like,
well, for me, it's like I've watched that Texas-Oklahoma rivalry. I feel like the Texas-Oklahoma rivalry is a lot like the UK-Louisville rivalry, where like no matter if Louisville has the better team, we're going to win most of the time in basketball. Yeah. And it's the same with Texas and Oklahoma. Just Texas wins most of the time.
Yeah, that's fair. I think if it was in Norman, Oklahoma wins though. But I think it was just in Austin. It was.
Well, they also have Mateer out as well.
He played. He was just banged up. Yeah, he had that surgery and came back like 2 days later. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. I think
3 picks though. So I mean, he might as well have not played.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's probably a little too early. I didn't even pay attention to that.
Dude had surgery 4 days ago, it feans like, but yeah, no kidding. But hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. We would really, really appreciate that. Basketball season, I mean, I think it's safe to say is here. I think we can now say it's here. It feels like it's here. And if not, I'm deeming it here. So stick around with us all basketball season long. Hit that subscribe button so you know when we're posting and all that. We would really appreciate that. But Carson, the first thing I want to get into is the KenPom rankings, okay? The KenPom rankings, would you agree with me that they are the most important rankings when it comes to college basketball, like analytically? Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, no doubt. I think they use that metric to kind of establish the best teams in the country, and they've been doing that for the past couple of years. And it seems that the math seems to check out. Those teams that are always ranked high in KenPom seem to always succeed.
Yeah, and we've been in the top 20 overall KenPom ranking the last 2 years, pretty much always, right? But when you break that down further, we have a top 10 offense and a struggling defense. Last year, I think we finished the year at like 55 in the 50s. There was a point in time where we were, I think, around the $125 mark. I mean, it was so, as we talked about, it got better. But at the end of the day, the defense, I think, cost us in the Sweet 16. And that's part of it. I mean, you have to be those KenPom rankings, you want to be in the top 25 of both, in the top 15 of whatever it is. Last year, Carson, the 4-1 seeds, the 4 teams that went to the Final Four, all except for Houston. Houston's offense was 12. Besides their offense being ranked 12, all other 7 of the offensive and defensive ratings for these teams were inside the top 10. You want that. And guess who has both of their rankings inside the top 10, Carson?
The Kentucky Wildcats.
They do. Offense at 8, defense at 4.
Woo!
4th overall in KenPom. Absolutely massive that the analytics really like our basketball team. Carson, what are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I think my favorite part of all that is that number on the second category you just labeled there, defense. Number 4 in defense. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen our defense look like that on KenPom. I mean, think like 2 years ago with Reed and Rob, our defense was like 100. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So to come down in 2 years and get it down to 4, that's really exciting stuff. And that just shows, like we've seen through the offseason, we have a lot of athletes. We have good defensive diversity. We can switch guys in and out for different matchups. So I'm really excited about this team. And with Mark Pope, you're always going to have a good offense. So it's really that defense that gets me super excited.
Yeah. Well, I remember we used to have conversations more with the Reed and Rob team than last year's team, but still a little bit last year. We said, Can we win this game 110 to 107? Can we do that? Because we aren't stopping this offense, and they aren't going to stop us. So we no longer have to have those conversations. It's going to be what I like about having a good defense is it gives you the ability to have a bad night shooting the basketball. We're going to be a team that wants to shoot it. Obviously, we didn't get to that goal last year of the 30 to 35 threes. We ended up about 26. We didn't get there. Coach Pope has said he wants to get there. That's always the goal. And he didn't happen last year, but it's the goal again this year. And there's going to be nights where you aren't going to make a lot of threes. That's going to happen. That's going to be the reality. But when you have a defense like ours, it's okay. Because let's say, you miss 7 straight shots and they go 2 for 7. Okay. They're up two buckets on you, a couple buckets on you. You can weather the storm of a poor offensive handful of minutes with elite defense, or a poor offensive half with elite defense. With our team last year, you go into we have a bad defensive half and we don't shoot the ball well. You're down 10 to 15 at the half. Like we saw against, Gonzaga and Tennessee in the Sweet 16 and some of these, Ole Miss and Georgia, some of those games, right? But if you had this elite defense and a bad offensive shooting half, heck, you might even still be ahead. And if not, you're down 2, 4, 6 points. And that's fine because we know we're going to get shooting eventually. So that is the importance of a great defense to me, Carson. And this team has it. Elite stars all over the floor.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think one of the biggest things for college basketball is winning the game of runs, right, within a game. So you want to have more runs than the opposing team. And I think the way you start doing that is with defense. You get 3 stops in a row. Hey, with our offense, we might score on all 3 of those stops. So that changes the game, swings at 6 points at least if those aren't 3-pointers. So I think it's the biggest thing in the world that we start with defense, and it'll only help our offense.
Exactly right. And it's just going to be nice to have, you could feel it last year and you could really feel it the year before, where if you get cold, you just know this could go bad really quick for us because we can't get stops. And that's not going to be the case this year. And it's going to pay off. I just think it's going to be a different feel. We've gotten so used to poor defenses, so used to our defenses not being very good. And that is not going to be the case anymore. And it's going to pay off, especially on nights where we just aren't shooting the 3-ball well. So I'm really excited about that aspect of our KenPom ranking. Now, when it comes to our opponents, Carson, in KenPom, we're going to play 20 teams in the top 50 of KenPom and 5 in the top 10. So this schedule is absolutely loaded. And we'll talk about the AP poll here in a second and where we're ranked there, where our opponents are ranked. But Carson, this schedule, once again, same with the net rankings. Obviously, those don't come out until you start playing games, I'm pretty sure. But those rankings will have a lot of quad 1 games. This is a tough schedule. And with how much better the SEC's gotten, that's always going to be the case for Kentucky moving forward with especially what they play in the non-con.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's actually wild that we almost play half of the top 50 teams. That's incredible. But that's kudos to Mark Pope, right? He made the schedule wanting to play all the best teams. He wants to get this team prepared for March, and there's no better way to do so than playing all these good teams because you're going to see them again at some point. So I'm really excited for the schedule. It's going to be a tough test, but I think we got the guys that will step up to the occasion.
Yeah. And we're going to do probably, I think maybe we'll do it next week or Friday. We're going to do our full schedule breakdown predictions. We'll make a decision when we do that. But what I think is crazy, so this is 20 teams in the top 50. I think technically, there's a couple repeaters in there, Florida, Tennessee. So it's more like 17 or 18 teams, but for 20 games, or whatever the math is there. I'm not good at that. But point being, it's crazy that we're looking at this like I think we're going to lose 5 to 7 games looking at how many great basketball teams we're going to play. Like, it's just nuts. And I think that's a consensus thing. Now, I'll tell you this, Carson, this is interesting. I got the KenPom Premium yesterday. So how you told me it predicted us to lose 2 games?
Mm-hmm.
So this is really weird. And I don't understand what the plan here is, KenPom. But so It says exactly that. It has us losing at Florida by 3 points, and it has us losing at Tennessee by 1 point. But then beneath it, it says projected record 24-7. So I don't really understand that.
Maybe that's just who they would favor in certain matchups.
Yeah, but it's weird because in the actual score breakdown prediction, it has us losing 2 games, but then it has us losing 7 overall, which is just weird. But whatever, it's beside the point. I don't know. I don't know why.
Don't they factor in like luck too?
Yeah. This is my first time owning the premium, and I'm kind of excited to see what that's.
We got to have a 0 overall rating on luck. We have terrible luck.
We do have terrible luck. We'll have a 1% overall rating in banked in threes from opponents.
Yeah,
that'll happen.
Yep.
So that'd be a fun. We should do that. We should make like a Wildcats Today lottery pool, and everybody predict on like a video how many banked in threes happen against Kentucky this year, and we'll have like a giveaway for whoever gets it right. That we're gonna have to figure that out. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, or how many 3 balls by the opposing center when there's like 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, no, I mean, because it's all, it's all gonna happen.
No, it's going in. It's going in.
So the AP poll, Carson, were we too low? Tell us where we were. Were we too low? Were we too high? What did you think about it?
Well, I think the rating is just perfect for me right now, because I think rating us number 9. Genuinely, I think we're too low, because I think we're one of the top 5 teams in the country. Yeah. But I also like being ranked number 9 at the beginning of the season, because that's what we're trying to accomplish. So that's foreshadowing there. And then you got a little chip on your shoulder because there's not 8 better teams in the country than you. So I like being ranked at 9. You're still in the top 10. You have stuff to prove. I like it.
I do too. I don't really care a ton about it. I mean, it's also we have to all, one thing that everyone needs to understand about the AP poll is it's a bunch of people who do not watch games, have no idea what they're talking about. The AP poll voters are media members, right, of a certain team. So you're telling me the Arizona media member that votes in the AP poll has done their digging on Iowa State, Illinois, Tennessee, Kansas, Auburn, Gonzaga? No, they haven't. I'm sorry. And if you think that's true, they just haven't. So I don't care a ton about the AP poll. I'll be honest. I care more about the analytics and that kind of stuff. But it's what pops up on the screen next to your team, so it's always going to matter.
The good news is that we'll have multiple chances to get up to that number 1 spot.
Oh, exactly. No, I mean, you go out of, you have 1 loss heading into SEC play, you're probably 1, 2, or 3. I'd say. I'd feel pretty confident saying that. Not saying that's going to be easy to do, but that's the reality.
Yeah.
And I think if you beat Louisville, third game of the year, you're probably in the top 5 just right there, especially if somebody drops an early, you know what I mean? Or you're at least going to move up a couple spots.
Yeah.
But so no, I don't, the AP poll is bullcrap. I think it's a flawed system. But when it comes to opponents that we have in the AP poll top 25, so you play Florida twice. That's 2 games. You play St. John's, you play Louisville, you play Arkansas, you play Alabama, you play Tennessee twice, you play Auburn, you play Gonzaga, Michigan State, and North Carolina. So 12 games from AP top 25 teams, 13 if you count Purdue in the exhibition game.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a gauntlet right there if you're looking at it. And I think, based on the prior conversation we just had, I think we'll know a lot about our team after that Purdue game, that exhibition game. We'll get to see kind of where we stand with the pre number 1 team in the country, right? So that'll be exciting. And then a week or 2 later, you got Louisville. So it's going to kick off strong here, and we're going to see really where we stand.
I want to ask you a question about this Purdue game, Carson. Okay. And this is a thought I've been having the last couple of days, and I want to try and find a way to have this conversation and have it make sense. But weirdly enough, I'm not going to read so much into it if we don't play well as much as I will as if we do play well. And I want to explain what that means. If we blow them out or beat them, period, without JQ, we're going to feel really good about it. Now, if we lose by 35, I'm going to be a little upset. But I'm saying if we lose a basketball game where we were right there in it the whole time and they go on a 4-0 run in the last 30 seconds to win it, or you know what I mean, I'm not going to overreact. There's no reason to overreact. This is a team that's probably going to be a Final Four team. If they beat us by a couple buckets, I'm not going to overreact.
Yeah.
Because I just think that we're not there yet with JQ being injured and all that. But if we blow them out, you're going to know what we really have. I just don't want to get blown out. I want to keep it within 8 points, maybe 6 points, or win. I don't want it to get worse than that. What are your kind of thoughts on that game in general?
Yeah, I would probably say the same thing. Like, I'm not going to take it fully because it is an exhibition game and JQ's not going to play. So, like, we can't learn too much from it, but it will be exciting if we do win or keep it close because, like you said, without JQ, that's pretty impressive. So, I mean, there'll be some stuff to learn, but it's not going to be the end-all be-all because, I mean, Purdue, like, they're number one in the country. They've got old guys. They're veterans. They have a great coach. And this is our team's first game together. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I'll be having very high takeaways if we do win this game.
Yeah. And, Purdue's returning a lot of guys that, they were a roster that's kept a lot of it together, which helps. It's a veteran roster that's played a lot of basketball together, which is tough to beat. So, this will be our first real, against other competition game for our basketball team, as will be for theirs. But we're just saying they've played a lot of basketball together. They've got the preseason player of the year probably in college basketball, which I'm pretty sure it won't end up happening because it never does. But he's definitely going to be an All-American. But so I guess, and you might say, well, that's soft. That's a soft take from us. I don't disagree. I get where you're people say, well, Kentucky loses and you're going to try and soften the blow by saying JQ didn't play. But the other reality is, Carson, I mean, he's not going to play a lot of games. We're going to be without him for probably a handful of these top 25 games. That's just the reality. We are. So we can't make that excuse every time we lose a game. Well, we didn't have JQ. When we have them, I think that excuse will make more sense when we do have them. And people go, oh, okay, I get why they're saying they didn't have JQ. But we're going to have to win games without him because if we lose a bunch of games in the non-conference without him and then he comes back and we're great, that's still going to hurt us a little bit on selection day. So I guess what I'm saying is that it's a little. I feel a little soft saying that about Purdue. Like, well, if we lose by a little bit, I'll feel okay about it. We never want to lose. I'm not. I don't want to sit here and try and make that whole argument to y'all. But that's just the reality. Is Purdue's coming into this basketball game in a better spot than we are. Just simply knowing that they're veteran, they've got a lot of players that have played together. That's the reality. So if we win or just stay right there with them, I'm going to feel good about it. But if we lose by 30, I would probably overreact a hair. So that's and so will Big Blue Nation. Everybody will freak out. So but what I'm saying is don't overreact if we lose this game by on a buzzer beater or something. You know what I mean? Do not overreact if this is a back and forth game the whole time and we lose by a couple buckets. Don't overreact then. Overreact if we get the doors blown off us, and we'll have that conversation. But I don't anticipate it happening. But I think the best thing to do, Carson, you know what that is? Just go out there and whoop their butt. That's the best thing to do. And I think we have a good shot to do that, especially with the Rupp Arena crowd. By the way, what are they doing with tickets for that? Do you have any idea?
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if it's a part of the season ticket package or if it's separate. I genuinely don't know.
I'm sure I've gotten an email about it. I don't read emails. It's like part of my that's part of my real bad, you become an adult and you have to start doing that. And I've just not responded well to the I have to read emails thing. I'm trying to get better at it. But I'm sure I have an email about this. I can't find it. Maybe I'll try to find it. But So AP poll and the KenPom's stuff, I feel great about it. They like our basketball team, and they should like our basketball team. I love where KenPom has us. I care a lot more about that than the AP poll. Love that we're top 10 in the AP poll, though. Y'all, it's just a good feeling. And I like the number 9 thing, Carson. Did you like the graphic? Not the graphic, the picture of number 9, Trent Noah, in front of the, chasing number 9 when we're ranked number 9. That picture will be hung in the Louvre if we win the national championship this year. So I like our ranking there for sure. Tell me about Big Blue Madness, Carson.
Yeah.
What do you think about
it? Heck yeah. So Big Blue Madness was awesome on Saturday, and it all started out with Fan Fest. We didn't get to go actually, but it looked packed. Like the line was around the building. It looked like a whole lot of fun. Mark Pope was breaking down tape with everybody at the Fan Fest. I thought that was pretty awesome. And then we get in there, and the girls actually killed it at the beginning. They were flaming it. And so that was awesome to watch. And then the cheerleaders, the dance team killed it. And then came out the boys. And I thought that it was a spectacle. I mean, Mark Pope has outdone himself again, bringing back John Wall. Jordan Smith sang "Never Leave Harlan Alive" with Trent Noah. I mean, it was just a spectacle. Tubby Smith came back. There wasn't really any takeaways based off of the performances or anything like that, like the actual basketball. But I thought it was an awesome event, and it was really cool. And the thing I took away most, that it didn't even have to do with anything basketball wise, but this team absolutely loves each other. Yeah. And you can tell that the team chemistry is awesome. And we haven't seen a team chemistry like this team in a long time. So I'm super, super excited about that fact.
My takeaway from Big Blue Madness every year is that no one does it like Kentucky. And I think that if you go to Big Blue Madness, you understand. And that once again, not trying to fully take a shot, but I mean, like Arkansas's thing they had, there's a lot of empty seats, man. And it's just like,
I mean, Louisville saw ours and decided to cancel theirs.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. That's really good. Now someone's gonna be offended. Sorry if you're offended. I'm so sorry. This is great. Here, look at this. I posted this on Twitter. Focus for me.
It's not focusing.
It's focused now a little bit. But that's our buddy Mike and Reed and Addie and Drew. They were dressed as the Popes, like they were on the front row.
I watched them down there the whole time. They were front row. Everyone was looking at it. It was awesome. Shout out to Mike. That was pretty cool.
I think it was Mike's idea, but it was Reed's birthday, and they were down there. It was pretty good. So that was funny to see them doing that. So Big Bull Madness, another success. Trent Noah doesn't miss from 3.
No,
I'll tell you what. You want to talk about using a word I don't use a lot because I don't think I'm cool enough to use it, but aura. Trent Noah just has aura. You know what I mean? Like you can just he radiates aura. He looks he's cool. He's a cool guy. Yeah. The way he came out with a song and that him singing the Never Leave Harlan Alive, that was cool.
What'd you think about Jasper's walkout? Did you see Jasper's walkout?
I thought it was I didn't know that he had a part in that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I saw the video about it a couple weeks ago. So for those that don't understand, we make that joke a lot. I don't fully understand it. It's Tay Kenny has like a water brand. I don't even want to explain a meme.
It started off with the song. Someone like came out with the song and it says like 6'7" at one point in the song, and then Tay Kenny just started saying it over and over and over again. And him and Jasper, they were at Overtime Elite together. So they both were saying it all the time, and they just became really good friends and started using it. So it became a meme, and now it's super viral.
Like everybody, like you can't hear the term, like whenever I'm like listening. And by the way, and maybe that's how it goes, but like I can't watch a football game without hearing 6'7".
The announcers say it. Like
I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to say it.
Yeah.
But the story is, I guess Tay Kenny, Jasper tried like it was like a drink or something, like a coffee or something, and Tay Kenny was like, "What would you rate it?" And Jasper was like 6'7", and then Tay Kenny was like 6'7", and then that started. It's really silly. It's just it's the reality, like that. This is what we do in our day and age now. But that's
there.
But I mean, I partake in it, so I can't sit here and act all high and mighty. I mean, I partake in this. So, but it was funny, Jasper coming out to that. You know, he's a memer. We love it.
Yeah.
You know, that was great to see. But no, it's just no one does it like Kentucky. And that's the reality.
What about Owe coming out to Lamont Butler's new
That
rap
was
song?
awesome.
That was dude, the crowd pop for Ortega. I couldn't hear myself think.
Yeah.
It got so loud in there. It might have been louder for Ortega than John Wall. It was pretty close. Yeah. But then John Wall comes out with Mark Pope, and that was the coolest thing ever. I mean, the absolute coolest thing ever.
I do want to give a shout out to, did you see, supposedly Lamont signed a deal literally yesterday?
Yes, and ended up winning them a game last night.
He scored 18 points to go with 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
And he got the game-winning steal.
Yeah, and he had +7 off the bench. I mean,
Kentucky guard, baby.
Good for him, though. I mean, that's just a good – that's a good guy. That's a good guy. He's really – and you want to hear something funny? This, shout out Lamont, because this is hilarious. So, you know, I follow Lamont on Instagram, obviously, and you know when you look at Instagram, like the videos on Instagram, it like puts people's emblem to see who's liked them. And obviously, I enjoy blackjack. I like to partake in that. I enjoy, and I cannot see a blackjack video on my Instagram feed without Lamont Butler having liked it. I mean, the dude likes blackjack. He likes it, clearly, because every time I'm like, there's Vegas Matt playing a hand of blackjack, and it's Lamont has liked it. And I'm like, that's hilarious. That's awesome. So
that's hilarious.
You know, just
another funny thing I saw yesterday was they had media day for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
And it was Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and Cooper Flagg, and all 3 of them were #1 picks in the draft. And so they all were making big thing out of it. And then AD grabs the phone. And he's like, I'm the real #1. Neither one of these guys ever won a title in college. He's like, the Cats are where it's at. I was super pumped to see that. Davis was talking trash to both the Duke boys.
Yeah, no, that's good, because you should do that. That should always happen. So, all right, Carson, give us a little Tyron Stokes update, and then we're going to talk about, just for a minute, the Hokies. Help us out here. So talk about those things. Tyron Stokes, thoughts?
Yeah, so there was a lot of tweets yesterday that seemed to think like we might not get him, but there's not much that's been changed. I still feel that Kentucky's the leader. Where the murky water begins to start is with the second team. So there's been differences of opinions on who leads for that second spot, and it's between Kansas and Oregon, and you can't really get a good grasp on that. But the good news is that Kentucky has always been talked about as the leader. And so until that changes, I still feel really good. And for me, I just think it's going to be such a hard decision for him to pick an Adidas school over a Nike school after he signed that massive contract. So I still lean towards it's Kentucky or Oregon, but people have been saying Kansas too. So watch out for Kansas.
Yeah. This is just like, this to me, I love recruiting. This makes recruiting not fun. This is why I like transfer portal recruiting, because it just feels like this doesn't happen as much.
Yeah, transfer portal is quick. You gotta go somewhere. You only got a certain window. This is different.
But I mean, it's just like all we can do is go off what these national recruiting experts are saying, right? And what are they saying? Oh, I mean, Kentucky fans feel really, really good. So you feel really, really good. And then 2 days later, it's like, well, you're screwed. Sorry. It's just not fun. It's not fun anymore. We're going to get Zion. It's going to be, this would suck. It would suck. I'd be really pissed off if this happened, because it's just like, gosh, what do we got to do? What do we got to do, man?
I feel you. It would be a Debbie Downer for sure. But like I said, I still feel really good about him. I still think it's been Kentucky. Recruiting's fluid, so you never know. Tomorrow we could be saying something different, especially with Tyron Stokes. You never know what Tyron Stokes is thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll be interesting for sure. But I do ultimately think he ends up in the blue and white.
Yeah, I do too. So, you know what I'm thinking, Carson? We will do our schedule preview on this we can do it on Friday or Thursday. But the reason I think we should do that is because we'll be previewing Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to preview Purdue. We could do it on Tuesday, but I think that's too big of a week. I think we should do it on Friday. So we'll do that Friday. We're going to do our full schedule breakdown on Friday. Now, and we could maybe even separate it into non-conference and SEC and do one Thursday or Friday, one Tuesday. We'll get to it. Hit that subscribe button. That'll help you, know and be here for it. But Virginia Tech, Carson, there's rumors floating around the world that Virginia Tech is interested in hiring one Mark Stoops to be their next football coach. And I'll tell you what, if you're a Virginia Tech fan, you're making the best decision of your life. If I have to see Mark Stoops walk out the door to go to Virginia Tech, I'm going to be absolutely sick.
So upset.
I don't know. Our program is doomed. I mean, how are we gonna win 3 games anymore?
I hope to goodness they take him. Good Lord, that would be the biggest thing ever.
Saved us a buyout. Good,
yeah. I mean, listen here. Mark Stoops took Kentucky to win 10 games twice. So Virginia Tech, you've got yourself the right guy, I think. I mean, he's a grit guy. We know Beamer ball. They love defense back in the day. Stoops is a defensive guy. I mean, he brings that lunch pail attitude to the team. So I think that he's going to fit you guys perfectly. Not to mention, I mean, he beat you guys in the Belk Bowl. So he's already shown that he can beat you guys and do it in a way where it was so physical and just ran over top of you that it was just almost not fair. So I think that it would be a definite upgrade for Mark Stoops. And, that was just kind of my pitch on why Mark Stoops should be the guy there.
Yeah. So I do find this really funny, though. Like, if you are a Virginia Tech fan, right? Okay. And you open up Twitter and you see that we might hire Mark Stoops and you see an entire SEC fan base rejoicing, how would you feel about that? Like, what would be your, initial reaction to that?
It would be terrible. I mean, it would be awful if we went, say for instance, when we hired Mark Pope, say for instance, we had a coach on the board that was on the hot seat at somewhere else, and we go and we hire him, and then we look at like you say for recruiting, you can easily tell in the transfer portal who you want because you'll know by the team's reaction, the fan base's reaction to when they leave. So like Aberdeen at Florida fans lost their mind when he left because Aberdeen's a stud.
Yeah.
But with UK fans, we want Mark Stoops to leave. It's the total opposite of that. We'll be rejoicing in the streets. But I mean, you can easily tell by what a fan base wants based off of their reaction on Twitter. And boy, do I hope Virginia Tech comes in with the pretty penny, because that would be sure would be nice.
That would be the literal best case scenario for us, because then we say that buyout, we can go make a run. And I have been seeing that they're calling for Freeze's head. And then I saw the other day that that whole fan base wants Summerall.
Auburn.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Oh, I know. That's my worry, dude, is we don't get rid of Stoops fast enough and Summerall takes the SEC job, and then we just have no chance.
I think Summerall is going to be a star, and if you don't get him now, I just don't think you're going to get him.
Yeah.
So this is our window. I think this is our window, and if you don't get Summerall, I think you go get a similar type of guy, a younger, up and coming, hot guy from winning games. Been hot winning all these freaking games, and you go get a guy from a smaller school, bring him in. That's what you got to go do. I think that's kind of
Will Stein, the offensive coordinator for Oregon. I know they just lost to Indiana, but they've been killing it. He's from Kentucky and has Kentucky ties, so that would be a name to monitor too. He's an up and comer. He's a stud, so that would be another good name to monitor. Yeah. I think Summerall and him would probably be my two guys that I'd want to go after.
Yeah. What about James Franklin?
I'll pass on James Franklin. I just think we've had too many problems in the past. Same problems with Stoops in the past that he provides. So I think I'll pass on James Franklin.
Yeah. No, I am with you. Obviously, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that. Now, I still think would be an upgrade, but we would never. We would be just in the same spot. We would never win the big game.
Stoops is 1-0 against Franklin at Penn State.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Hargis. Sorry about your team, pal. So yeah. All right, Carson, you got any other thoughts before we call it a day?
Oh, that's all I got. Hope everyone has a good Tuesday. Go watch some MLB playoffs. We always got that going on, so that'll be exciting. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good one.
Yep. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day today. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, it really does help us out a ton, helps the show out. Really appreciate that. Leave a like, all that stuff. Leave a comment, chat with us. That is all great. Hope everyone has a great rest of their Tuesday, and we will see you next time right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.